WWE 2K24 released on the 8th of March 2024, and honestly the hype for this game was absolutely unreal. The 2K media team did an absolutely stellar job on the lead up to the release of this game. Unlike in previous years, we got far more promotional material other than the usual ratings reveals. 2K were posting images of referee shirts, which was an obvious hint to the return of the special guest referee mode, and CM Punk announced that he would be returning to the 2K series after a 10-year absence. The hype for the game was real, and it seemed as if 2K had turned a corner since the stinking pile of shit that was 2K20. 2K22 was a very solid game that helped restore 2K's reputation, and they built on these solid foundations with 2K23. It seemed as if 2K had nailed down the gameplay for the most part, and all us fans wanted was more content and stable servers. Well, it turns out that was just too much to ask for. Where do we even begin? Perhaps with the servers? Ah, those dreaded 2K servers. WWE 2K24 is the only game I know where playing online seems like a chore. It's slow, it's laggy, and often you or your opponent just completely disconnects from the game. Imagine if this sort of stuff was happening on a regular basis with other games such as EAFC and Call of Duty. I mean, just picture it. You're 1-0 up in the 90th minute of a FUT Champs game, and boom, you disconnect. Actually, that does sound kinda familiar. But in all seriousness, my point is that in 2K24, this sort of stuff happening is not a rare occurrence. And if it happened on any other game, I don't think the community and the fan base would even put up with it. In conclusion, all I have to really say is 2K, fix your damn servers. As I mentioned in the intro, one of the main things that us fans of the game wanted from 2K24 was just some more content. I'm going to once again use EAFC as a comparison, which I will explain why I'm doing that when we come to discuss everybody's favourite game mode, My Faction. If you aren't an avid FIFA player, to sum it up, basically every week EA Sports release some sort of promotion that allows you to gather different players, do different challenges, collect different cards, and overall it gives people a lot of interesting things to do over the course of that week. I guess you could kind of think of these promos as mini DLCs, except they're all free. And well, just like most games, WWE 2K24 had a deluxe edition. And the main reason one would order this deluxe edition is for the DLCs. 2K lured us all in this year by offering CM Punk as a DLC. In my opinion, this was rather distasteful, as I think those top stars that everybody loves to play as, your Roman Reigns, your Cody Rhodes, your John Cena, your CM Punks, I think those should all be available from release no matter what edition you pay for. I mean, some people just can't afford these premium editions of the game year in, year out, so I do believe holding back those top stars that a lot of people want to play as is kind of distasteful. But from a business standpoint, holding CM Punk back as a DLC probably guaranteed the company a lot of pre-orders of the Ultimate Edition. However, CM Punk was not the only DLC, and the most recent DLC pack to release did cause quite a bit of controversy. We all love Pat McAfee, right? And being able to play as him in the game, who wouldn't want that? Also in the Pat McAfee pack, and excuse me while I look at my list, was AJ Schmidt, Boston Connor, Ty Hawk, and Darius Butler, who we all know and love, right? Wait, who are those guys again? As the great one once said, who in the blue hell are you? And the fact that I had to go and look at my list and I still botched two of those guys' names shows that nobody was really interested or even knows of these guys. If you don't know who all those people are, which I don't blame you if you don't, because I didn't before researching for this video, they are all a part of the Pat McAfee show on ESPN. I'm just going to say this bluntly. Who the hell made the executive decision to add these guys to the game, let alone as a DLC? I mean, come on, I could literally come up with a better idea right now on the spot. The Pat McAfee pack starring Michael Cole, Corey Graves, Byron Saxton, and Jonathan the Coachman, all as playable characters within the game. I just came up with that idea in 30 seconds, and in my opinion, being able to play as those cherished names, those cherished broadcasters amongst the WWE fan base would be a far better idea than being able to play as Ty Nobody and AJ, who the hell are you? Like, literally. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? Would you prefer my idea of being able to play as Michael Cole in the game and all the other commentators that I mentioned? Or are you actually fond of being able to play as the Pat McAfee show hosts in 2K24? Moving on to the game modes, and why not kick things off with My Faction? Ah, yes, My Faction. The mode where you take your favourite WWE superstars into enthralling encounters with your friends, take them into battle, and see who can come out on top. At least that's what 2K want you to say. Truth be told, I am sick to death of this bullshit. We have to listen and put up with the same crap year on year. The mode was introduced in 2K22 and was basically 2K's attempt at being like EAFC's Ultimate Team. I'm in no way trying to compliment the greedy bastards that are EA Sports, but there's a lot of key differences between the two game modes. The most obvious, clear one being at least EA Sports online servers actually function the way that they're supposed to. At least you can take these cards that you've paid for into an online game. Nobody in their right mind wants to spend a shit ton of money on packs to get these cards, to then take the cards into battle against the AI. Who would do that? The mode wasn't, isn't, and never will be interesting. The introduction of the mode was a shameless cash grab from 2K, and honestly, next year I hope they have the guts to admit their failure and completely remove My Faction from 2K25, because this would allow them to spend this well-needed resources elsewhere, such as Universe Mode. Maybe I'm being too harsh here. Please do let me know in the comments. Are you a fan of My Faction? Am I being too harsh, or do you agree with me, and should they remove the mode from the game entirely? I would love to hear your take in the comments. If you want to hear me criticise Showcase Mode, let me hear you say yeet. I presume you've all commented yeet right away, right? I know, I've done nothing but moan this entire video, and to be honest, I do not even hate the game. It's just, I don't think anybody within the community is honestly criticising the game. And if nobody voices their criticisms about 2K, they're never going to fix the game's issues. To quote CM Punk, I'm just trying to be the voice of the voiceless. And one of these main issues that 2K need to address immediately is how stale Showcase Mode has become. I can't remember the last time I had an ounce of fun playing Showcase Mode. I really enjoyed the old 30 years of WrestleMania and Defeat the Streak modes, but honestly in recent years it feels as if 2K have lost their creative spark. The 40 years of WrestleMania mode had us all excited for 2K24, and judging by all the advertisements, we were excited for good reason. But when the game actually released, it was like letting the air out of a balloon. First of all, the name is wrong, because not all 40 years of WrestleMania are represented within the mode, and hell, there's not even 40 matches. And second of all, the mode is just completely dull. There's no commentary, which makes it feel kind of eerie, just attacking somebody without Michael Cole shouting over the top of it. And you are also bound by the shackles that are the game objectives. This may be an outlandish idea, and I do understand that it would be very hard for 2K to facilitate this, but how cool would it be if there was unique commentary while you were playing through all the different matches on the Showcase mode? For example, for the WrestleManias during the Attitude Era, you got Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler commentating while you're playing through it. And for the WrestleManias, such as WrestleMania 29 and 30, you got the likes of JBL, Jerry Lawler, Michael Cole. I feel like that would be so cool. Just make it completely unique. I mean, even for like the early 90s, add Gorilla Monsoon, Bobby the Brain Heenan, Vince McMahon, just make it a lot bit more creative. The commentary isn't the main issue. In fact, I think there are many more deeper lying issues that result in just complete boredom while playing the mode. And the mode could probably do with a complete overhaul. My GM mode is what it is. I really enjoyed the mode in 2K22, and there have been some minor improvements since, but honestly, as it stands, I'm just not really too fond of playing my GM. I know this isn't the first time I've said this in this video, but this time it's for a completely different reason. And I do think, and hear me out, I think my GM could be removed. Not because it's terrible, I just feel like if you took a few of the features, one of them being the draft, and implemented that into Universe Mode, the mods are very similar other than them certain features, so you kind of make one big better mode, and then what's the need of having a MyGM mode? I suppose MyGM serves its purpose, but it's just not really for me. 2K22's My Rise was the first WWE story mode that I had played since WWE 12's Road to WrestleMania, so my expectations were through the roof, and honestly, I was expecting to be let down. But in reality, the contrary happened, and the story was absolutely brilliant. I loved how freeing it was to just be able to walk up to Adam Pearce, William Regal, or Mandy Rose and just be like, give me a damn contract. Hell, in the case of Mandy Rose, there was even a storyline where she became your character's girlfriend. The developers knew what they were doing with that one, eh? Overall, the mode was interesting and had a lot of replayability. Before I knew it, 2K23 had rolled around and I couldn't wait to play the next installment of My Rise. However, this time I was quite disappointed. There wasn't as much freedom, and despite me being a British man myself, I found the whole returning to the UK indie scene thing kinda boring. It just wasn't really what I was expecting after 2K22's success. But hey ho, there's always next year, right? 2K24's My Rise was... I'll let The Rock tell ya.
It's the biggest piece of dog shit.
Yep, you heard Dwayne. The mode was a complete letdown. And I think I figured out why 2K23 and 2K24's My Rises were both pretty disappointing. And I think it's because once you've created your wrestler and played through a year's worth of story, I think the next year, creating the same wrestler, going through the story, it just feels kind of like a repeat. I do have a resolution for this, but I am going to talk about that in a lot more detail in a future video. So let me know in the comments, because in my last video, I did mention that I think that 2K should bring back Road to WrestleMania. I love that mode. I think from about SmackDown vs. Raw 2008 until WWE 12, that mode was a mainstay. And let me know in the comments, because I love that one. Would you like to see it come back and replace My Rise? Because in my opinion, being able to play each different wrestler's Road to WrestleMania makes it a lot more unique. So one year you could have 5 wrestlers, next year 5 completely different wrestlers. That way it doesn't become as stale because you're using different wrestlers, obviously whether it's men, women, heels, baby faces. The stories are going to be completely different and it gives it a lot more replayability. That brings us on to my favourite mode, Universe. The mode where you can create your own WWE universe with your own creative storylines. In my opinion, this is where the majority of 2K's resources should be going instead of my faction, but they've become lazy in recent years when it comes to Universe mode. In 2K19, there was promos available in Universe mode, and it is clear as day that we are dying for the return of promos. Hell, why did they even remove them in the first place? Being able to use promos makes being able to advance storylines a whole lot easier, rather than just brawls and attacks. You can just have someone come out on the mic and call somebody out. Obviously, we need it a lot more in depth than that, where you can attack somebody during a promo, you can create a faction during a promo, all different unique things. I think it would be pretty easy for 2K to facilitate this. Like I say, do any of you guys know, why did they remove it in the first place anyway? The reintroduction of promos would revitalise the mode astronomically. My only other suggestion would be to add far more rival reactions. In all fairness, 2K did introduce a lot more rival reactions this year, but as Vince McMahon would say when it comes to females entering his office, the more the merrier. Too soon. In conclusion, if anybody from 2K is listening, please do not take this video the wrong way. I'm not just some whinger on the internet looking for something else to complain about. At least I don't think I am. I just think it's about time somebody stood up for the 2K community, and as a wrestling fan, I want nothing more than for the WWE 2K series to thrive and be able to compete with the likes of Call of Duty, of FIFA, of any other popular game, NBA 2K even. Look, 2K, please take this as constructive criticism. And for the rest of you that do not work for 2K, which, let's be real, is probably 100% of you guys, please do share this video about so that it can reach somebody from the 2K development team, because in my opinion, they need to address a lot of the issues that I have mentioned in this video. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, a like and subscribe would be very much appreciated. If you want to join my Discord server of like-minded wrestling fans, add me on there, just wrestling_takes_. I do go live most days on Twitch as well, it's wrestling_takes_. Got my own eFed on there, 2K24. So if you have a creator wrestler, head over to my Twitch, about 7 PM UK time most nights, and you can join the eFed, get your character into my universe mode. But yeah, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. This video is about to end. See ya.